Hello, hi there Sagittarius. I do hope that you're all well. My name is Bella and welcome to my channel, and this is your love horoscope for Sagittarius for March 2019. I do hope that you're all well. So, most of you know I like to dive right in there, but if you do like to know more about me and my services, all the links are just down below. And if you'd like to join me for my daily live reads, then join me at my Facebook page at Bella the Secret Psychic. So, what's coming up for your love life that you need to be aware about for the month of March? Right, my guides are implying that at the beginning of the month, and interestingly, it feels like because we're going into retrograde season, it doesn't feel very much that the retrograde affects you too negatively, apart from maybe the first week when it comes to communication, which is often where problems lie in relationships. It kind of magnifies the negative of what we see in each other, as well as it's often a time when sometimes people either return or people break up. You don't seem to be having that. In the first week, though, you do feel like you've been holding your tongue on something for a while when it comes to somebody who has a meaning for you romantically, because you've been observing the things that they are doing to themselves that aren't harming the relationship yet anyway, but are harming them. And so it seems very, very much that you've just been watching and waiting and hoping that they'll just be fine, and then not a lot's been happening. And you feel like you're now at a place where you need to say something, otherwise it could impact them, the person you care about, in a really negative way, which then could impact your connection. So it's almost like, feels like you've given somebody a certain amount of time to resolve their own issues or something they've had to confront, and now you are needing to say something about it because it's going on either too long or they're causing some sort of damage to themselves. Sometimes this can be like witnessing people kind of like being a little bit self-destructive, like not going to work or drinking or not taking care of themselves hygienically. I don't know, whatever it is for you, you've allowed them a certain amount of time, as you would because they're a grown up, to kind of figure this out. But the first week you're feeling like you need to say something. Again, that's where the retrograde is having an effect in terms of having to have this kind of negative communication. So it's not actually coming at you. It feels like you having to have strong words with somebody. Oh, I'm just seeing if they take it well. Not at first, they don't. I'm not going to lie. At first, they do not take it well. But it doesn't take them long. The second week, I feel like it was really needed for you to say that. I think in a way it probably highlights that person that you care, but also that you possibly, could view them very negatively or even not want the relationship if they don't improve this kind of slightly destructive path that they're on. So as you go into the second week, after your very direct confrontational kind of, I need to tell you this because I'm really worried, or I need you to stop doing this to yourself because it's just not helpful, or whatever it is, then I get here appreciation around that. I do get that you start to see them actually stopping doing what they're doing or making much more of an effort to not sabotage their circumstances, which will then not have a knock-on effect to your relationship. And the appreciation, and they're almost vocalizing with you the fact that they recognize that you cared and what you said, does actually bring you closer. Sometimes we have to do these things, and it feels very, very much that your position, a little bit, if I'm being honest with you, Sagittarius, I ain't gonna lie, it's coming across as a very parental position that you had to be in, which then brings that person into thinking better for themselves, because obviously when you're in love with somebody, you want the best for them. It doesn't matter what circumstances, whether you're married, whether you're just living together, whether you're just newly with this person, even if you're estranged, sometimes we can have relationships where we are not together, but there's still communication, dialogue, and you can see that they're not doing the right thing for themselves or the situation. So an example would be that perhaps you split up and then they're behaving in ways you never knew that they could even be, which is hurtful for you to see, but it is what it is because you're not together. But you care enough about them to say, you know what, why are you drinking now? Why are you bedding everybody now? You know, that's not you. That's destructive behaviour. Do you see what I mean? Like, there's care enough, and it's shown in appreciation, swinging back to you because of it, and love and bonding and all that kind of stuff as you go into second week. And that's how that's shown as about as much as a retrograde hits you. I'm not going to say that the normal stuff around contracts and technology are not going to affect you, but in terms of your love life, that's it. My guides are kind of implying a little bit, because they're using a quote from Oscar Wilde, which I can't remember it off the top of my head, but it's along the lines of people can't steal the riches from you, that if they're coming from your soul. People can steal tangible stuff like money, but nobody can steal the richness of your heart a little bit. And you're shown as being that representation, that you're so rich in terms of your love for somebody and your care to look out for them, that it is that value that that person puts on you. That being said, and I know this is a love reading, in the third week, guys, I have to say for Sagittarius is a really, really good time for money for you. Money with work, money with winning, money with one-off things. If you're looking around grants or scholarships or like there's money in the third week for you guys, which shows you, again, job offers, contracts, things like that. On that note also of contracts, it feels very much in the third week you get from that very person that you've helped to kind of snap them out, which you start to see signs of in the second week of them really trying. It just continues. They continue to be motivated into not doing what they're doing to themselves. And I get, for some people, there's an offering coming to you from them that makes you feel much more secure. So if you're in that estranged situation where you're separated, they may come with you and say, actually, I'd like to try again with you. If this is a new relationship, they might be saying, here, actually, I'd like us to be exclusive. I think you're good for me. If you're in a marriage, this could be just letting you know how important you are to them and wanting to make some promises, like, I'm really going to try not to do this anymore, and I'm going to and this is how I'm going to do it, and etc, etc. So there's lots of that kind of dialogue happening between you and another person. You get a firm commitment. Again, being at retrograde energy, you could find that you could be having somebody return to you, but because of dialogues that you've had around their specific behaviour. So we're going to like the last week of March, well, last couple of weeks of March. Other than that aspect, trying to figure out what they're trying to show me, because there's an element of, like, you know what, for some of you, I think it's definitely going to be along the lines of they've got an addictive thing, because they are going to be trying, but what I'm being shown is, particularly where it is you're managing somebody where there is a depression, let's say, or an addictive side to them, that they are going to continue to try, but they hit a bit of a struggling block at the last week. So, and I think that's very, very in line with people who face that kind of problem. That is a cognitive one, that's an addictive one, or a biological chemical one. If it's depression, or if it's alcohol, it's a disease. It's one of those sort of things that they seem to hit a bit of a wall where they're a little bit needing to withdraw, or they might be a bit snappy but they're still continuing. So it's a little bit like somebody giving up cigarettes. They will have a period when they're incredibly ratty because of their, I don't know, things changing or whatever. It's that kind of thing. And they're just saying here, you seem to really handle it quite well, Sagittarius. You seem to just have this kind of, like I said, my piece. I see they're doing this. I know it's hard for them. I'm not gonna, kick them when they're down. I'm going to stand back and let them go through it. I'm not also going to enable them and say, you know what, you look like you're suffering. Maybe you should do that thing that makes you feel better, even though it's destructive. You're not going to do that either. You're just going to be like, yeah, I'm just standing here when you've gone through it. We're going to walk forward together and everything's going to be fine. It's a little bit like that. It's kind of a deep one a little bit, because this feels like how you are being strong and very parental and very kind of directive in helping the person that you love to be a better version of themselves, so that your relationship with them doesn't suffer, or that you don't see them suffer, which sometimes we face in relationships for whatever reasons. People go through grief and depression, and they go through losing jobs, and they go through all sorts of things that then come out in behaviors, and you are trying to help them come back to the light, I guess is the best way to see it, and they do. And so this reading is a little bit how you navigate through that with that person. And if you're single, and just expect this if you're dating anybody in this month, that they may exhibit those signs, and you being a guiding light for them in that process also too. So anyway, lovely Sagittarius, I hope that's been helpful for you this month. I'll be back again next month with another love horoscope. You will take care now. Bye.